Hey, Daniel Gamez is here this morning, debt settlement attorney. We're talking about saving for retirement. I don't care how old you are. It's really not too late to get started, and we're putting ourselves to the test this morning.
That's right. That's right. We're going to talk about retirement, because a recent study came out that said that the U.S. currently ranks 19th in the world when it comes to retirement security.
Right.
So it's important that people start looking at retirement and how they're going to get there.
I try to talk to young people all the time about compounding and time being their friend. And you hear the same thing from younger people over and over and over again. Even though their company offers a 401k, the company offers some match to that, they say, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford to have the money come out of my check. I need everything to pay my bills right now.
Well, even if it's $20, you have to start saving somewhere.
Sometimes,
so yes.
Don't wait until you're too old. All right, let's get to the first question here. Go ahead.
All right, question number one. True or false? Healthcare spending is higher per person in the U.S. than any other country. Mark.
False.
That's actually true.
I knew that.
I
was just setting you up so you'd have something to talk about.
Well, and the mistake that people make when they're saving for or they're getting ready for retirement is on their medical bills. They sometimes don't have enough insurance, so they're underinsured. So you really consider underinsured if you're spending more than 10% of your net income on medical expenses.
Now, if you are spending more than 10% at that point, then you're allowed to deduct that portion, I think, over and above. And talk to your accountant. Certainly, I'm not an accountant, but I've always asked, can I deduct some of these huge medical expenses that aren't covered? And he says, well, not until it gets over 10% of your gross income.
That's right. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're planning ahead for medical expenses. If you can put money aside, do that. Make sure you're going to get your regular appointments and checkups so you don't miss something that you can prevent.
Absolutely. Right. All right, great. Okay, question number two.
All right, question number two. When should you start saving for retirement? Teens, 20s, 30s, or 40s?
My bell, a little weak this morning, but I'm just going to say teens. The earlier, the better.
Well, the earlier, the better. If you are a teenager and you can't do it, ideally in your 20s, you would start saving for retirement, even if it's just $25 a month. Put something aside. What you want to do is try to make sure that you're not incurring other debts so you can put your money towards retirement.
Now, teenagers, we've had this discussion around our house because, I still have, my son who's just 21, my daughter who's going to be 19. In order to put money into like a Roth IRA, you actually have to make income.
That's
you have
right.
to pay taxes.
That's right.
So, a lot of kids get paid, let's be honest, under the table.
Like babysitting.
And that type of thing. You can't put that money into a Roth because you haven't shown any income there. You haven't paid any taxes.
Sure. Well, and put that money aside for a rainy day if you might need it for something else later. And then when you get the job, that you can start putting it towards your retirement.
But now, if you do pay taxes as a young person, you've got a job that you pay taxes on.
Absolutely.
Put it aside, right? Get started. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, next question.
Question number three. True or false? If you have an emergency, you should borrow against your 401k retirement fund. Heather.
I know you're going to say false, but a lot of people do it.
But don't do it.
A lot of people do it.
And financial advisors will tell you not to do it too. It's just really not a good idea because those are loans that you're going to have to pay back over 5 years. And if you can find another way to do it, take out equity in your home if you're fortunate enough to have it. See if you can borrow money from a loved one first before you take out money because it's just going to come back. You're going to have to pay that back over 5 years, and it comes
You're paying yourself back, but you're not saving anymore in the meantime.
That's right. So you need to make sure that you are looking to see how much money you're going to have to pay back and make sure you can afford those payments when you start repaying the loan.
But like Heather said, a lot of people do it. I mean, in an emergency, isn't it nice that you at least have the money there?
It is nice if you have it there, but you really want to try to keep that money aside for retirement if you can.
Try to just forget about it.
Just
forget about it till it's time to retire.
I just have to forget about all my money. There's none left to spend.
Because it's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
That just made you say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, last question. What is the average age for retirement? 60, 62, 68, or 70?
I'm going to say it's still probably around 68, but it's getting higher because people have to work longer, don't they?
The average age is actually 62, but that doesn't mean you should look to retire when you turn 62. You need to make sure that you're planning ahead for retirement. So a lot of people just assume that they're going to be able to work well into retirement to make extra money, but there's oftentimes things that come up that prevent you from retiring.
So is the truth of the matter is that people don't realize that a lot of people my age, even younger, realize they'll never retire?
That's right. And I speak to people in my practice all the time that don't know how they're going to retire because they have so much debt built up and they don't know how they're going to get out of it.
Right.
So think about that. There's a chance
I know how I'm getting out of it.
Retire.
I'm going to die.
Then all is forgiven.
That's
for
the
you.
simple fact of the matter. I figured it out. I will retire when I am dead. So, it's not a happy thought, but, it could be reality if you don't plan ahead, folks.
That means more years of you sitting by me.
Yeah, because I can't retire. I can't leave.
you don't have a choice but to sit next to me. All right. Daniel Gamez, thank you so much. If people want to get a hold of you, what's your website?
It's GamezLawFirm.com, GAMEZ.com.
GamezLawFirm.com.
That's easy. Okay.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you.
I do appreciate
Thank
it.
you.